And now let's take a look at other African stories. The Central African Republic seems to have underestimated the level of hatred between Christian and Muslim communities in the conflict-riven country. Gerard Araud told a UN meeting that African Union and French forces were confronting a nearly impossible situation. Mr. Araud said that calls to end the fighting were being ignored. Also, the International Criminal Court has excused Kenya's Deputy President William Ruto from attending his trial at The Hague this week. The judge confirmed the decision was taken based on Mr. Ruto's need to deputize for President Uhuru Kenyatta while he was abroad. Mr. Ruto is the most senior serving government official to be tried by the ICC, and he denies charges of fueling violence after disputed elections in 2007. Plus, Egyptian officials have spoken of a high turnout in a referendum on a new constitution, with voters expected to endorse the removal of Islamist President Mohamed Morsi. Top election official Nabil Salib said that voter turnout was higher than in previous polls, but gave no precise figure. The second day of voting on Wednesday passed off largely peacefully. 9 people died on Tuesday in clashes involving Mr. Morsi's supporters. Finally, remember the days when sailors dreaded the Gulf of Aden? That was because of the threat posed by Somali pirates who hijacked ships, robbed the crew, and sometimes killed them. Well, the International Maritime Bureau has good news concerning the area, as it says piracy at sea has now reached its lowest level in 6 years. Looking at the figures, they say there were only 15 incidents off Somalia last year. That's down from 75 in 2012 and 237 in 2011. The falling numbers are attributed to armed guards on ships, international navy patrols, and the stabilizing influence of the Somali government. Finally, Nigerians took the time to remember their fallen soldiers by commemorating the Armed Forces Remembrance Day on January the 15th. In Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, President Goodluck Jonathan was among dignitaries at the National Arcade who laid wreaths at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Prayers were offered for the living and for the repose of the departed heroes who fought to preserve the unity and peace of Nigeria.
2014 Armed Forces Remembrance Day. In attendance were President Goodluck Jonathan, the leadership of the National Assembly, Chief Tony Aneni, Secretary to the Federal Government, 7 ministers, service chiefs, Nigerians from all divides, and members of the diplomatic corps. Archbishop Oche of the Methodist Church brought a question for the congregation bordering on how to keep Nigeria one in the midst of daunting challenges, including politics and the need to allow 2015 to take care of itself.
If we all agree that the Most High God rules in the kingdom of men and gives to whom he wills, then why are you fighting? Why are you trying to trouble the nation? Why are you frightening the citizens? Why are you putting in our minds to say that 2015 will be blood year?
A food for thought for Nigerian politicians, and President Goodluck Jonathan acknowledges that
the peace of Nigeria is more important than the interests of any individual or group of individuals. Sometimes people will even preach hate and even encourage young people to take arms and fight themselves and kill people. I always say, even as a politician, that any ambition I have at any time is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. I will never, ever expect a Nigerian to spill a drop of his blood because Goodluck Jonathan has some vision or has some dreams. No. And I'll pray that all politicians should know that there will be no nation if we kill ourselves.
There were prayers covering the president, all arms of government, peace in the country, and all that dwell in it. And for the Senate President, fair play should also prevail in this game of politics.
I accept what the clergy has said. We should play the game in the proper form, not a do or die, and we should make sure that we play it according to the rule.
Well, that's where we draw the curtains on this episode of Network Africa, but of course not without dropping the question for the week. What's the way forward in South Sudan? Feel free to send us your suggestions on our Twitter page. It's @NetAfrica. Until next time, stay blessed and safe. I'm Cynthia Are. Bye for now.
A time comes in the life of every race when people are driven by echoes of the past to chart a course for an exalted future. Africa is at this threshold as major actors in the Africa arena plots a renaissance towards common destiny. Let's pedal across the streams of yesterday, through the backstreets of Africa to the defining roles of policymakers, the political realities of the African nation, balance of power, and the strive to sustain national interest and identity. Join us on Network Africa on Channels Television. Network Africa.